Andrew with Secure Site. Presenting today the sending unit for the sensors for an RV application. So we're in right now a 2005 Monaco Dynasty. It's under renovation, moving some bedrooms around, moving some details around, cleaning things up, putting a new stereo in. What this will do for you is when it's all plugged in and running, any sensors that you add to this. So Secure Site has, temperature sensors, humidity sensors. We're talking the water. So if there's water presence, a leaking tap, etc. Putting a temperature sensor in your fridge, putting a door sensor. So if somebody opens up your door when you're not here in your unit, it will notify you immediately. So it acts as a security system, a quality system, as also loss prevention for animals, kids, because when you're looking at these units, driving down the road, things get loose. The last thing you want is a carbon monoxide issue. Say something failed and the AC doesn't come on for your pets. All of a sudden, it gets 40 degrees in here. It's a big deal. So this whole system basically incorporates everything. Instead of piecemealing from this company to this company to this company, what we do is we provide one source, so you can, if your storage compartments don't currently notify you if it's below freezing in your gray, black, and fresh water, well, you put a sensor down there. Once it starts to get below 5 degrees in there, and your heater hasn't kicked in, or maybe it's just you're relying on tarps, and it'll notify you immediately. So you can be proactive instead of reactive. When the taps just don't work that day, it's a lot of work to get the frost out of the tanks. So we put this as a package together, and putting it in our own unit. We use this system for a multitude of different applications, which can help the end user as well. It doesn't need to just be used in your motorhome. Maybe it's the motorhome in the summer, or if you're snowbirds, motorhome in the winter, and your cabin during the summer, or all year. But the benefit of this system is also around you. If you have other friends, family, relatives of any kind staying around you within about 1,400 foot radius from the sending unit, so the black box, the sensors will all report to it and send it to the appropriate people. So you can name your sensors according to the unit that it's monitoring. You can so that if it's Jim Bob's fifth wheel, it can let you know that somebody's gone into there at a weird hour, and all those settings are easily changed. So if it's 3 o'clock on a Friday, Jim Bob's not supposed to be home till 5 o'clock. He can get the notification, you can get the notification, or separate the notifications that way. And somebody can be reactive to it. So as well, pets, if you have pets in here and you're at work and you start to get notifications, cellular, email, cellular being a phone call, email or SMS notifications. Cellular will call you till you pick up, hear what the message is. SMS will send you a text message saying, hey, your parameters are out. And then there's email, same thing, your parameters are out, please take care of it. So in this coach, we're going to be putting the temperature sensor in the fridge. We're going to put a temperature sensor into the cabin. We're going to put a carbon monoxide sensor. We're going to put a door sensor, an open closed door sensor in this. A couple other sensors in future expansion will be water detection, the storage area, temperature sensors, as well. You know, we can look at acceleration, motion sensors in our tow vehicle. So all those items basically will make us feel comfortable on the road, that, you know, our dog is safe, our kid is safe, you know, our unit isn't going in the opposite direction as us. Somebody hasn't, you know, started up and drove it away. So there is a number of sensors, and we'll be listing them in upcoming videos, but also at the end of this video, as to how complex you can make this to better suit your needs. With that, so the installation that I put here, just plugging it into a bathroom vanity, we'll be tucking it into a cabinet and running it into electrical plugs, and then routing the 3G antenna up and to a clear signal. As well, we'll follow up this video with installation of the fridge sensor, the door sensor, and then also the cabin sensor. The cellular antenna is magnetized, so it can stick to metal surfaces, but it also comes with a sticky pad, so you can put it basically anywhere and help line of sight, similar to your cell phone. The higher up you can get it, you know, clear and free, the better service you're going to get, and the better signal means the more likelihood, you know, if something goes wrong, you're going to be notified. So it does have an indication on the box itself. It also has it on the app, so you can see how good or how bad your service is in a particular location. So you're not relying on it in a case where no cellular service is available. We're talking about something like this. We're talking, you know, preventative, and making sure that your kids, your dog, everybody is safe. So, you know, if you're in, you know, rural, middle of a desert, you don't have cell service, this unit's probably not going to have cell service. So it's not, you know, it can be good for boondocking, but if you're outside of those parameters, you're going to need to look at a different way of prevention. But that being said, if you do have an external antenna, you know, it uses very much the same connection points as a cell phone antenna. So if you have that and you're vacating for the day, you can hook up to that antenna, and you know, if you have service with your cell phone, you'll have service with this. So do keep that in mind. And really, you know, there's a lot of systems out there that focus just on your pets, just on water, just on temperature, just on, you know, carbon monoxide or another element, but this incorporates them all. So it's a one-stop shop. And when you're talking about having your door also on that, so tampering, jack it open, and somebody's able to get in, you'll be notified right away. So again, you know, either you can call the RV park, say, hey, I got an issue, can you run down there? If you can't make it out right away, call the cops. If this is sitting in a location, maybe storage, not the ideal situation because you still do need power. But if you do have a location that has power, you have power to the unit, this system will work great. So we'll go into installing the other systems here shortly. They'll come to you all set up. So the 3G unit will be running with all your sensors. So all you have to do is install at that point. If you want more sensors or additions to it, They'll be programmed into your account, shipped. You'll get them, put them on the wall, put them in the basement, you know, put them in the engine bay, put them in your tow vehicle. You know, we hear a lot about catalytic converters now. This acceleration or vibration sensor can be programmed and installed onto your exhaust system so that it notifies, you know, say you're sleeping at night and somebody cuts it off your tow vehicle, notifies you right away. You can run out there or not run out there, call the cops, you know, whatever your preference is, and have that dealt with. So we're looking at this as expansion. You know, neighbors, friends, everybody can buy the sensors. You only need one home station within a 1,400 foot radius. So it's you know, it's expandable. The initial investment is there, but after that, you know, people can be on your system, give you maybe a little money back in you know, payment towards your cellular plan, which I'll touch on that. It's $30 a month for the unit itself. All the hardware has to be bought, and then $30 a month for the unit. So going from there, I'll move to another area of the RV so that I can show you an installation. All right, so we've got the temperature sensors here. Two different types. So a centrally located one where the sensor can mount to any surface. For example, you know, you can, I wouldn't suggest it, but you can mount it here, and it's in the open. But the ideal situation is having a discreetly installed unit like this, with a wire coming up into the unit. So, you know, as a reference, there we have a spot underneath the fridge for pots and pans. This can be screwed up in the back of the unit. Bring the wire, and this wire we can, you know, custom order as far as length to come up into the fridge, and then you just have a single wire tracing up into the fridge. Or in this case, this unit can come sit right up inside the fridge. Do it over here, you know, sit up in the fridge, and it's always there, always available. This relocatable sensor is a little more money, so you know, it's to be used sparingly, I guess. When you need to know the temperature of something specifically, this is the ideal situation. These simple black boxes, you can throw them basically anywhere, screw them down, tape, double-sided tape, and you can know basically within a vicinity the temperature of the unit. These ones also, they have an on-off switch, so when you're not using the unit, this one can conserve power, whereas these ones will run for 10 years. You know, whether you're using them or not. You can change the heartbeat on these so that they send information less regular, so that if something does change, or you can turn off sending notifications, or you can you know, increase notifications if it's something very pressing. But it will send you in, if it goes into an emergency state, as far as going beyond your parameters, saying 5 degrees Celsius, 42 degrees Fahrenheit, then it'll let you know immediately that your unit is, you know, dangerously cold or whatever, getting close to freezing. So keep that in mind. Two different styles, but both very useful in what they do. So we're going to probably install this guy in the fridge, and then I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put a probe into the open area but hide this unit. So it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye that this is in a discrete location, and then this guy just, you know, pokes through the cabinet to gain temperature sensor or temperature within that space. So yeah, that's our plan. Once I have them installed, we'll come back around. But moving on to the next installation. So the next one we'll be installing is the door sensor. I guess I should be saying not installing, but talking about is the door sensor. So this little unit will sit up, you know, if you want to install it in the cabinet, bring this guy through, bring it onto the metal edge here, and then install the receiver side on the closest door flange to this spot here. And basically, when these are in contact, showing that the door is closed. When they're separated, shows that the door is open. So a very simple idea, but very effective. So, you know, every time this door opens, you're not going to get a notification. You set the parameters. After 9 o'clock at night, or Monday to Friday, between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. if you're working hours, or just, you know, when you're leaving the unit, jump onto your app and change the parameter and say, hey, I want this to come back on. Or it can send you a notification every time you open the door. Depends how you want this system to look for you. So when this gets installed, you won't actually see this sending me. You'll just see a little wire, this guy coming down, and you'll see this guy here. So very, very clean. And at the end of the day, you know, we'll have our notifications. We'll know what's going on. And, you know, really at the end of the day, that's what we wanted this system to do. Mind the mess here. We're renovating. We're sitting inside a big garage or a big shop. There's about a foot of snow outside right now. I'm wearing shorts, made a bad decision, but didn't want to be too warm for this video. So anyway, so I'll get this guy installed. You'll see the final product of it. Every installation is going to be different. You can mount this thing surface if you wanted to. It's just not what we're going for. So also, this isn't meant to be too complex. This is supposed to be a simple system that you can retrofit into any unit. We're not, you know, looking at tapping into every wire source in your unit. These guys run for 10 years. Supposed to run for 10 years. I mean, climatic changes, you know, depending on how much you're using them. It's about a 10-year life cycle on these with the two AA batteries that are in it. So 4 screws, you remove the lid, pop new batteries in. If this, and it does show you on the app what the battery life is of each sensor, not just this guy, all of them. So each individual sensor, you'll see it, you'll know what the battery life is all the way from the gateway down to here. So user friendly that way as well. You don't want to be that one time that you need it and the battery's dead. So yeah, we'll get this installed and I'll show you the next step. So this little guy here is a carbon monoxide detector. You can also get carbon dioxide, H2S, a lot of noxious gases. You can get sensors that that detect those individual noxious gases. So basically, we took out the couch here. We're going to be putting something else, kind of a daybed situation in here. So what you would want to do with this guy, basically under a surface, screw it down to the floor. You know, make sure that it's somewhat accessible. Again, we're talking a 10-year life cycle, but screw it down, and then you know, you can replace the batteries, 4 screws, undo it, put the new batteries in, you're good to go. So very simple, maybe even underneath the captain chair, if you have room. Basically anywhere that is going to be able to get low enough to sense the gases. So, you know, in this thought process. We were talking about temperature sensors for climatic or prevention of loss of food. But another, and I don't want to sting any manufacturer for this, but there has been cases where fridges have caught fire. Certain appliances maybe weren't effective enough. Let's call it effective. So installing one of these units behind the fridge, in the access door, maybe getting a sense of temperature back there before it's too late. I'm not saying it's going to be the end all be all, but it's just a preventative. If you see something spiking, you can put it in your phone what that spike looks like to you. But if we're basically looking at, average, say you get an average over 2-3 days, you set that average into the app, and then set the parameter beyond that. Well, if it hits that high, maybe you have an extra 30-40 seconds to get out of the unit if there's an issue. And I guess that to me is the most important part about this system. Being modular, being expandable, I guess, and solving issues. RVing is amazing. Seeing the world is amazing. But they come with human error, frequent breakdowns, and it's not just the manufacturer's fault. I mean, these things are going down every type of road surface in North America and beyond. So managing these things, these errors or complications as best we can, that's what secure site's all about. Making sure that possessions don't go missing, vandalism, theft, we don't have loss of animals, kids, things to something that's supposed to be a good time. You want to preserve that.